Day of Judgment. My dear brothers, recited the ayah of Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Innamal mu'minuna ikhwa," that indeed the mu'minun are brothers. So, in just few minutes, just to understand what the brotherhood is, what that means, and why is it important for us, and why some scholars believe that the brotherhood of Islam is more important than the brotherhood of your blood. In Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, "Khaslatan la shay'a afdalu minhuma." The two matters, two qualities, there's none more better than them. These two qualities. One, al-imanu billah, to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no quality that is better than believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And other one is an-naf'u lil muslimin, and the benefit to the believers, to the Muslims. So you can see that importance of benefiting to other Muslims, importance of being brother to other Muslims, comes straight after al-iman billah. The ibadahs that we do, the worship we do to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the essence of the ibadah is to really get our character and get our morals and get our behaviors and get to a state that we are good to each other. The Prophet Hadith says, "Innama bu'ithtu li utammima makarim al-akhlaq," that I was sent down to perfect your character. So really, that's the essence of ibadah. That's the essence of knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how we actually treat each other. He says, "Khaslatan la shay'a afdalu minhuma al-iman billah wa naf'u lil muslimin." The believing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then giving benefits and being beneficial to the Muslims. Wa khaslatan la shay'a akhbathu minhuma. The two matters, two qualities, there is none worse than them, are shirk billah. And this is important in this day and age, that we don't associate any partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ashirk billah. There's nothing more worse than to associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this matter we take it very lightly. Al-Aqidah and the believing in oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The atheism is on rise, and we have a huge challenge, really, especially when it comes to youngsters, trying to understand them, what it means to believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have questions about everything, and we should have the knowledge, and we should be able to answer them. It's not about, I've got questions, youngsters come and question me and say, why do we have to pray? Why do you have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If Allah is mercy, He can forgive us. So we need to educate ourselves to a certain level that we are able to in articulate manner and from a logical perspective, we can give them answer. So answer could be in a two way. One is actually by the book. From the narration of the Prophet ﷺ, we can give answer and say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this, "Qul huwallahu ahad," say Allah is one. That is our belief. This is the book we believe, because we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then there are logical and manners that you can teach, and you can explain them the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the believing of our Aqidah, we must educate ourselves in those. So, ashirk billah wa durru lil muslimin. So two qualities which are the worst is to associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to be someone whose adur means to be harmful to Muslims. That you are being not a benefit, but an opposite way. You are being harmful to the Muslims. So are you the one that are causing mischief amongst the community? Are you the one that is causing trouble, causing uncertainty, causing problems amongst brothers? Are you giving one news to one brother and taking it, giving it to other? So we have to look inwardly. We have to look ourselves, that where we do stand when it comes to the scale of the believer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Habib, his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yakuna, that you are not perfect believer until hatta yuhibbal until you love what you love for your brother. So this is very profound. This is very deep in its meaning and understanding. That you are not a perfect believer until you love what you love for your brother. You have to love for your brother what you love for yourself. Do you like to be ridiculed? Do you like to be swore at? Do you like to be cheated? Do you like to be backbited, insulted? All the things that we don't like for ourselves, we should also not like for our brothers. And really, honestly, if you just go and say, the deen is very simple, very, very simple. We make it difficult for ourselves. It's very simple. If we just followed one of just this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, what's he saying? Very profound and deep. That you love for your brother what you love for yourself. You try to practice it, really. Even, for example, you're sitting down for a food, and just try to practice that you're going to give the best of the food to your brother. You're going to give best of the seat to your brother. You're going to give best of everything that you have to your brother. It's very deep and very, very difficult to do. But that's the level of the iman. That's the level of the perfect believer, that you are actually loving that person more than actually yourself. You're preferring the person more than yourself. And this is just not a theory. The Quran was just not sent as a book and for us to read. The Quran was sent with the messenger. And this is the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala behind it. It is within the realm of possibility, realm of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They could have just sent a book. This is a book. An angel could have come down and they could have given us a book. They could have given us the orders. But it is the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He just did not give the book. But He gave with the book a person, a messenger and his beloved prophet that was the embodiment of the book. It was asked to Aisha Siddiqa radhiyallahu ta'ala anha, what was the akhlaq, the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And she summarized it in a very simple way. She said, his Quran, his akhlaq was Quran. That was it. Whatever you read in Quran, that's what the practical was it. So any work you do, you have theory and you have practical. Without practical, you cannot pass. Without theory, you need to do both. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the theory, but with the practical. And then it didn't finish it there. You could say, and I do hear that, we can't compare ourselves to the Prophet ﷺ. For sure, we cannot. We cannot compare to the Prophet ﷺ. He was ma'soom, he was free of all wrong. But then the Sahabas, if you look at the lives of the Sahabas, with all the faults and all the mistakes, they were still the best of the creation of the Prophet ﷺ. Best of the creation. Look how they embodiment this. So just for example, in this example of brotherhood and how they actually benefited each other, there's numerous examples I can give from the book, from the hadith, that they actually preferred their brothers over them. I mean, I explained in the battle of when the Muslims were thrown out of their houses from Mecca, they did hijrah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They left everything. And it was not an easy hijrah. It was very difficult. For example, someone asks you to leave Reading for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only thing you take with you is your clothes. That's all you take with you, nothing else. They were not allowed to take anything except what they were wearing. That's it. They left their properties, their land, their money, their houses, everything was taken from them. And they left for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing. And what happens? They go and they were greeted by these people. Al-Aws wal-Khazraj. They were the tribes of Medina at the time. And they became Al-Ansar. Also Al-Khazraj, as explained last Jummah, they were fierce rivals. They had wars and battles going centuries back. They fought with each other. These people in Medina, they fought with each other. But then when the Islam came and they became Muslims, they became Al-Ansar. Prophet gave them the title of Al-Ansar, means the helpers. They were the helpers of the believers. They were the helpers of Islam, the helpers of the Prophet ﷺ. So these are the people they welcomed, and they preferred them over themselves, these Ansar. When the Prophet ﷺ made the brotherhood between the brothers, so one Ansar was made a brother with a Muhajir, and it's in the books, you can read it, that when the Ansari welcomed a brother in his house, he divided the house into two parts. He said, one part is yours, one part mine. They even gave them their land. He says, half of land is yours and half of the land is mine. That's how much they preferred them. And then not even that. There are a few narrations that one of the Sahabi Ansari, he had two wives. And he said to his the Qurayshi brother, that, brother, if you want, I can divorce my wife. She can do her iddah and then you can marry her. I mean, this is beyond our belief and imagination in today's world, where we're so materialistic. We can't even give from our own pocket and can't help our brothers. But these brothers, they were not all of them are millionaires. Some of them only had just one room. Honestly, just one room, small room, and they even wanted that. That was the brotherhood. And that's why the Islam flourished as it did. Because they had the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Iman billah, that was they had. Al-Iman billah, and then they had this brotherhood, that they preferred their brother over themselves. In the battle of Yarmouk, I mean, this battle happened nowadays in Syria. I'll give you just one last story. And Battle of Yarmouk was, you can say, the Western historian says that this is a turning point of Islam. They said that if that day Muslims had lost, Islam would have been wiped off the face of the earth. Because this was the battle with a fierce army with the Romans, where they were, some historians say 4 times, 5 times more than the Muslims. So Muslims were around 30, 40,000, they were about 124, 140,000. So it was like 1 to 3, 1 to 4. And it was a fierce battle, and Alhamdulillah, Muslim won this war. But one of the story in that, one of the Sahabi, he says that he goes and in the thick of the battle, he's trying to go and find his cousin. He can't find him. He says that he hears his voice, and he goes to him, and he's asking for water. He's just in his last throes of his life. He is dying, but he wants water. He's thirsty. He's been battling. He's been fighting, and he's about to give him water. Then he hears this person who's dying already. He hears a voice of another brother close by, and says, "Water, al-ma, water." Because he's dying, he's thirsty. He says, "Brother, leave me. Go to this brother. He needs water more than me." He says, his cousin says, I leave him. I go to the other person. I'm about to give him water. Then I hear another voice. Water, al-ma. He said, the brother who's dying, the Sahabi who's dying, he said, leave me and go and give the water to this person. He said, by the time I reach this person, he had already passed away. I come back to the second Sahabi, and he had already passed away. Then I come back to my cousin, and he had already passed away. They all passed away in thirst and hunger. You cannot be more needy than that at that time. The most neediest of time, and the time of you've been injured, you want water, you're thirsty, you want to do something, but you're giving preference to your brother over yourself. And he said, I came back to my cousin, and he had already passed away. And none of them drank water. They sacrificed water for their brother. So that's the sacrifice, and that's why Muslims were able to conquer the land they could. They conquered the land, they conquered the hearts. That's the important thing. We say that Islam spread with the sword. I mean, this has been said. I can tell you, Islam, the kingdom of Islam, of course, for sure, it was spread through the sword, because we had to fight the corrupt leaders, and we have to fight the cruel and the zalim leaders. We had to do that. But the Islam, the religion, was not enforced on anyone. There is no historical incident mentioned by either Western or the Eastern historians that Islam was forced. It was through the akhlaq of these people. It was through the akhlaq of the Amir. I mean, we have the stories of the Sahabas who were governors of the area, and they were living with just one dress. And the people asked him that once a week, we don't see you. Where are you? We don't see you. He says, I don't want to tell you. This is a secret between me and my Allah. They said, no, you are a governor. You are leader, and we don't see you for one day. You are gone. And he said, I can tell you this, that I don't come one day because I only have one dress. And once a week, I wash it. And because I wash it and it's wet, I can't come out naked. So that's why for that day, I let it dry, and then I don't come out. That was the state. They were leaders. He was leader, one of the most richest state at a time, but the leader has actually only got one suit, one dress to wear. So because of the akhlaq, that people became Muslims. They conquered the hearts and the minds of the people through the akhlaq, through the manners, and through the dealing with each other. But I ask Allah, and we have the greatest opportunity amongst all the Muslims. If you're living in a Muslim country, you could also conquer the hearts, but here in this Western society, we even have more of a responsibility to show that character to the Western community, to show them what we are made of, to show them what our Prophet was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what it means to forgive, what it means to be nice and kind to each other. And you will see people will have, people will be affected by that. Your actions speak louder than your words. You can say whatever you want to say about your religion, it is peaceful, but if you don't act in a peaceful way, they won't believe that. They wouldn't believe that. We are Islam. We represent Islam. We are Islam. We are the walking Islam. Right? So they will only see us. They will not see the books. They will not see what's written, the hadith and this and that. They said, no, we don't believe that. We believe what you do and what we do. It is in front of you, how we are seen in the press. And of course, there is some biasness there, but also we have to look at internally ourselves, what we're doing. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us that tawfiq, and it is our responsibility. We will be asked as well on the day of judgment, what should you do? With your knowledge, with your opportunity, with your wealth, what did you do? We are privileged. Alhamdulillah, we are privileged. Allah has given us the privilege that we are in a society that we are not, under the poverty scale. Alhamdulillah, most of us are above the poverty scale, and we have some extra cash. But what we do with that, our privileges, what we do with it? We got sources of knowledge. Everything is available now. We got time, we got resources here. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us if we have made any mistakes, and give us the tawfiq to become the perfect believers, become the ambassador for Islam, and spread the deen of Islam, inshallah ta'ala. Sunnahs, please. Just a couple of announcements, inshallah ta'ala. So the membership for Reading Islamic Centre, the deadline for renewal is 6th of June. If anyone wants to renew their membership or want to join, inshallah, please contact the management committee. And brother of Iftihar Shehzad has given £100 for the masjid. Inshallah, we'll make dua for them. Also, inshallah ta'ala, there is going to be a vigil for Palestine. So all the children, the 67 children that have been killed and martyred in Palestine, in Gaza, so there will be a vigil, inshallah, Reading Town Centre, opposite Oracle entrance at 3 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday, inshallah ta'ala. There will be a few speakers from various community, inshallah, and also there will be a dua as well. Please join.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله اللهم لك الحمد لنعمة الإيمان ولك الحمد على نعمة الإسلام والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد قال سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم إنما المؤمنون إخوة يا عباد الله رحمكم الله روي أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال خصلتان لا شيء أفضل منهما الإيمان بالله والنفع للمسلمين وخصلتان لا شيء أخبث منهما الشرك بالله والضر بالمسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. وأيضا قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحب العباد إلى الله تعالى أنفع الناس للناس وأفضل الأعمال إدخال السرور على قلب المؤمن يطرد عنه جوعا أو يكشف عنه كربا أو يقضي له دينا. وقال عليه السلام أيضا عليكم بمجالسة العلماء واستماع كلام الحكماء. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين والمؤمنات واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر. أعوذ الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم آمين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم اللهم ربنا تقبل منا هذه صلاة الجمعة مع المسلمين إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا واغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا إنك أنت أرحم الراحمين ربنا ارزقنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا ورزقا حلالا ولسانا ذاكرا وقلبا خاشئا يا أرحم الراحمين. O Allah Azza wa Jal, accept our prayers, accept our Salah of Jummah. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, accept all the things that are in hearts we cannot say, and all the things that are good for us. Ya Allah, give us and accept all our prayers. Ya Allah, forgive us, forgive our parents, and forgive all the Ummah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give victory or give nusrah to the Muslims. People are suffering, alleviate this oppression and the suffering of the believers, and everywhere the humans are suffering, especially the people of Palestine, people of Gaza, West Bank. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, alleviate their sufferings and give them freedom, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal. Ya Allah, people of Yemen, people of Iraq, people of Afghanistan, people of Ya Allah Azza vegan Muslims, where our Muslims are being oppressed, being Ya Allah Azza wa Jal suppressed. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give them Ya Allah freedom, give them Ya Allah Azza victory and alleviate their sufferings. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, we ask you that whoever and everyone Ya Allah who are ill because of COVID or other diseases, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give them shifa al-kamila ajila, and Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, whatever we have learned today, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, if I made any mistake, Ya Allah forgive me. Give us the tawfiq to remember this, give us the tawfiq to practice it, and give us the tawfiq to pass on to others, following the hadith and the commands of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Give us your true love, love of your beloved Prophet, and Ya Allah, all the things that leads to your obedience and your love. Give us the love of these things. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amin, amin, bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.